Hello, welcome to our COVID-19 statistics. Um, yes, we have here the John Hopkins um, website about the newest numbers of the infection of the pandemic, and that is the numbers I take from my calculation. You see that we get absolute numbers um, in a relation how many people there is. You can see, for example, in US, how many people are confirmed infected and how many people died. Um, okay, if you click on US, you can, that is the number of infection and that is the number of died in the US. Um, and you see the number of recovered in the US. So, and Brazil is much have much just well, how many have Brazil? 170, 150 million. So less than a half people. And you don't see the real relation. So you can see if the government in this country or this system or this healthcare system is working good for your decision on the next election. So then I can compare, or I want to compare with other countries and other systems. So, but you must see, I am not a scientist, so I don't can um, I don't can rate the information very good. I just rate with the how many people living there, and so I'm not a scientist to look to the future. I can only give you some views what was happened until now. So this is nothing to say what comes in the future. That is very difficult statistic stuff. That is only for scientists. So, but I'm curious about this, how dangerous it is now. So then I made my own calculation program. That is that. And in comparison for the last time, I must say I made some information more. The political system, the economy system, and the continent I had it before also. And also, I found a few errors on my information on my data and my calculation, so we can compare really what was the last record and now. So I hope you accept that we counting now again. So the competition starts really right now. So this is my third record. My microphone was is destroyed on the way. Now I record with my with the headphones. That is not that perfect. Sorry for that. So let me see what they say. Okay, looks like a little bit good. So um so let's start. You see what I did? There's a lot of numbers. The three numbers I came this infected in died with infection and health healing result that are numbers I can take from the John Hopkins University website. But this is numbers from 2 days ago because it takes so many tries to make this record for you because my microphone at first I can found a microphone, then I found a microphone, then I figured out that the microphone is damaged. So now I have a bad solution for it, and I take again the record of it. So okay, let's found what is this. That is the data is what I put in, And you see, on stuff economy and political system, I have not for everything a code. Maybe you can help me for these countries what is without. Uh, so um, so for I search the economy, I must put in things who are together, communist, socialist, social market, and liberal and oligarch um, economic system. So who had influence in the economy? So a communist, it means the most companies are part of the state, or the state is owner of the companies. Socialist is um, that they have strong directly influence on the economy. So, and social market means they have social social uh, care on the state have social care on the people who are living there. So liberal, so that means everything is not regulated, and the other side of the liberal is the oligarch. So the oligarch means that some companies who was the strongest get big, so that much big influence in the economy, uh, like like uh, functionaries. You know it from the communist side. So just they make it for themselves. So, and the other question is the political directorial will. I will explain a little bit later what it is. Council, autocratic, presidential, and per- perspective or monarchy. Uh, I will I will um, say it again. So, and then representative democracy and direct democracy. So, and you see, I can't make it on all, and maybe you can help me for some countries. Write me on the on um, on the video on YouTube, and please with links, and then I can evaluate it if I can take this information. So, okay, so let's start. The rank K, that is like the first stuff. I made everything a little bit bigger, but because I saw that the records, um, you can really good see the rank and the name of the countries. So I make everything bigger, and that is the part here. In this part begins everything. So let me see what we have here. Ranking of the lowest risk to be infected on COVID-19. Oh, this is infected. Oh, this is the first one. You see, and there we can see if they change something. Congo, Sri Lanka get one's back, and a new country comes in. That is Madagascar. Is now on place 5. Nigeria is also one's down, so it doesn't say that much. But Kenya, Japan, South Sudan is a new country, and Cuba is 11. So, okay, Sudan, yeah, this is still South Sudan is not a new country. Okay, so Indonesia. So, okay, there you can compare, and you see that comes a lot of African states and here into, but that you must realize that the infection is coming at last to Africa. So these countries are on the beginning, and this is a competition, and this is just the starting point. And so the other countries started a little bit earlier. So and the winner is the yeah. So so that will go down naturally because the infection will growing. Maybe they make better. We will see. We will see what has happened then. So and then we have here two. Oh yeah, this is the back side of the stuff. Let me see. So that is here. What has happened? So I don't know. It is infected and dying. So infected and dying. So then we see uh, the um, most paint is Sweden and Belarus on that, yeah, and Peru is in between. But on Peru, I made a mistake with numbers. I don't put the right numbers of inhabitants, people who living there, into, and this is a wrong place. So Peru is now 105, and that is uh, 6, 7 points rank better than before, at least for the infection and for the people who died is better on 100, but but bad enough for a country who take it for sure. Have this is the country who have the less success of the people who have a shutdown and take it for sure. It is Peru. Okay. So let me see a ranking of the country with the lowest rate to dying. This is the other side of the stuff. Let me see. So there's Thailand goes up, and where is Sri Lanka? Yeah, Sri Lanka. Yeah, no, Thailand goes down and Sri Lanka goes up. So Uzbekistan it is here. So and that could be a reason that comes could be wrong numbers, but it could be also that numbers was not changed in this period, and then they are still standing on the old numbers, and the other and they on that reason only they get on better rank than normally it had to be. It is just a problem of information, maybe. So, and then we have also new thing who come in, the West Bank, Gaza, and everything. And this countries who now, is now getting the infection and dying and everything. They're really no new on it stuff, and you can think about or you can believe that it will not be on the top of it. West Bank and Gaza is that part behind the Palestinian part behind Israel, and it is maybe natural that they're very close with the wall, and it takes a bit time to get them there. But if they are there, so let's look how good is the management of these people, if the numbers are right. So Congo, Kinshasa, and where's Congo? Okay. Congo. Yeah, there's two Congos, and that's why I have to put in the capital into. But right now maybe it was another place. So okay. Um, by the rest we can talk the next with evaluated numbers. Let me see what is the next name. Okay, that is the next graphic. Because get cured it is a little bit a bit a bit um, this number you can really a lot of countries don't give numbers or there's a little bit too far away of the possibilities, so I just show it. Let me show slowly, and there you can evaluate by yourself. Oh, this is too faster, is it? Okay, friends. So okay, that's enough. You can stop the video. No, it's too bad. I'm too bad. So, and that's why we have different risk on it. I want to an- we have different qualities of data. But I'm not a scientist. I am not a I'm not a scientist for virology. I'm not a scientist for statistics. I have no idea which numbers are right or wrong. The only thing I can do a mathematics stuff with the reasons it's too far away to the main information, so the relation between infected and dead and everything. But it could be also be false only for that reason that 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 we have that is in the beginning and there's no diet until now and everything, uh, and that why um, could be still right and is not in the statistics, but at least it could be the test statistic. It is a little bit better in general than before. So, and later when there are more better numbers, then they come into the statistic. And so we have to without this this filter of the most credible informations and the rank with the better you can uh, get more confidence with the information. But I think there's a lot of scientists that think there's a lot of country that's not right. I heard about one virological guy, and he said that's only 60 countries or with validate with good numbers. So I have more than 60 countries. So is into so there's a lot stuff who's not right. So, but I tell you that and beware for that numbers. So, but this kind of numbers are used for the next plates. So the next one is the evaluation of the continents, and here you see the red stuff is the average of the ranks. There you see that Europe is 60.9 and North America is a little bit better. But you maybe you know or you get it that Europe after Asia get a second very hot, and Europe was surprising and was not prepared for that pandemic. That means prepared there was, but the politics didn't evaluate it right because there was on the old information of the United Nations, and even they didn't. Sometimes they have specialists in his country. They didn't ask them on the right time, and that's why Europe get it fast, and the first country who get it very heavy it was Italy. And Italy was the reason that the politician in Germany began to to start um, to get it seriously. So, and there's not only Germany, there's a lot of country. They get they evaluated more realistic with the thing what is happening in Italy. So in Italy, when Germany get in reaction, they came the army to transport the deaths from the hospital. So that was the point Germany began to react. So is it, and it seems to be I get information of from the news, so I don't know if it is still evaluated. They came directly from Wuhan to Italy. There was an expedition, and they bring it because there was a special expedition for Italian. It was in the Italian company's interest on, so that's why they get it. They get it in Italy very strongly, very heavily. Much people. There died a lot of young people too. So uh, that is just to get the a low view of the information. So North America was the next who's coming, and we have um, special leaders in this continent, which really don't respect the virus like it is. They reacted very late, and you must understand it makes a difference every day of waiting of waiting of reaction um, makes it can make um, a triple of the infection. So, and if you know what is the double every day, you know there is a fairy tale, an serious fairy tale. People, mathematics professors, tell to the people, and even in the schools, they tell, okay, there was an uh, there was a king, and they had a problem, and they want to resolve it, and there came one guy and said, hey, I make the problem, you can make the can you make the problem good? And he said yes, and then how many, and then he resolved the problem, and then the king said to him, uh, I want to get I want to give you some money. And then he said, oh no, I don't want. But the king want to pay something. And I said, okay, if you want to pay something, pay me just one piece of rice in a field, in a check field, and every next check field you make the double. So if you make please the numbers of one piece of rice. And this king said, okay, yeah, this is good. This is just a little bit of rice I can give you. He begins to laugh about this idiot could have the half of his kingdom, and he wants just a few um, pieces of rice. So, but then he begins to make the first piece of rice, the second a plate of the check game is 2 and 4 and 8 and so on, so on. And then on the end, I will tell you that is more rice than today you can produce in the whole world. So it was not a little bit. So and if this virus every day can make a triple of himself, then you see that every day is very important. That is only for specialists. That is not for politicians, and even not for politicians don't like the scientists or don't like critics. So, and that has happened. So, but even in North America, still in average is good. Maybe only because Cuba is into. So let me see if we get some numbers from it. The lowest risk in the world. Okay. Okay, we have there. So, okay, let me see. Let's begin with North America. That is more interesting. Cuba was the last last record was the first place one, and you see what's happened. USA is still one of the last, and Honduras made it better. Canada make it worse. Ecuador, where's Ecuador? There, make it much better. But it means not. That means not that is that everything is okay and everything is zero. This is just saying that it is growing not that fast than the others. So I can show you what, for example, by Ecuador, what is happened with Ecuador. When we see on the website, and Ecuador, where's Ecuador? Is that Ecuador? Ecuador. Okay, they have 60,000, about 60,000. Then, so there we are. So, okay, 60,000. 59,468. So, there we can see um, what is happened. What I want to say. Yeah, that is. We want to see. We can see on the John Hopkins University better on as on my numbers how is it growing, and therefore we have this one. And there we can see how it grows. And normally this number never goes down, but that is maybe correction by the politician and then goes down. So I don't know how that is possible. So okay, normally it's just add one, add another one, and then that is the number what it is in whole. So and that helps a bit if it's it's getting faster and faster, and it goes there. And if then it have the same speed, that looks like that. It's like a straight. So I don't know if this number could be right. So it don't looks very true. So better to see. You can see the daily cases, and you see they have one day it was very high, and by the rest is still in one place. I, I so Ecuador. Uh, yeah. I must look what is happened with this politician. I have not confidence, but you see on that is just one level, not very high. Just 1 point is high, but is on the end when you compare how many things you have, it is it is not possible without growing always the same amount of um, of infection. So, and let me see the number of that, and that is also a high level of that. So that is not a new. That is not they come not new into the statistics. Yeah. So the relation of the deaths and the confirmed can give an idea um, how there's two ideas. Uh, what was the point who get to a problem, but not really, because there's another question into is how right are the numbers. So you can really know if that's soon or not, but it could be take give an idea. So okay, let's go to of the work of it. So here, and then you see. Oh, okay, it's we saw different stuff. So and Cuba is still on a good place, but it goes also down. Nicaragua lost 10 places. Um, but that could be the both could be also part of the newcomers. But I don't think I have 10 newcomers. I think just 7 or 8. Um, for that is USA also better. But okay, you never know if there's some in between the numbers is not. don't get the mathematical uh, credit. So, so and then again falling out. So let me make like it is. So what is really good is also it looks like the same rank, the Dominican Republic, but maybe it is still okay if they are on the same level. It is a good thing, but it normally it say that it is growing. But because there come other countries in front, maybe Dominican Republic goes up. So maybe let us see what um, uh, the 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 John Hopkins University say about Dominican Republic, and that must be that 33, 34. There we are. Oh, this is Afghanistan. I don't know if so, and then you see the numbers here, and there is daily cases still growing, and the daily cases have this problem that some days is low and next day is high, but that is where you can take it for sure because that has happened. If some guy don't get it really on the same on the day, he don't feel that ill, and he goes to a party and then they get infected a lot of people, and so these waves are completely normal. If there you don't found some waves, then maybe there's something wrong with the numbers. So okay, and but to understand how success was the management, this this is sometimes not perfect, and then you take the confirmed, and then you see that it get faster and faster. So if then okay, that means for my statistics that even you are on the same rank than before, it it could be still not running good. The prognosis is not very good. It is on the end. It is to get an idea what will happen. You have to look on the John Hopkins University map. Then you have an idea. So it means there comes a time the this information this Dominican Republic will run down. Some other countries will get better. So we will see. So, but again, we have there also worse information about. So, South America. South America, let me see if I have a graphic about South America. Yes. And there we see there's a new one. There is Paraguay. Because they come into the statistics, what I want to. I think there's about 2,000 cases. I put it in in my ranking. So, but because Paraguay is on the beginning, it means also that um, that it will can can go down because there's growing. They're doing a little bit. They must get the experience how to work against, and one is good. They can take experience of from other countries and from virologists and epidemiologists. They have now much more information, and so it could be good to start later, but even it could be because that comes later. This country that means also that this country will have not that much relation with other countries around, and so that means that the economy is maybe not that perfect, and so maybe not that strong. And then it's only thinking about how good is could be the management. So that is a race, a dead race. So we will see what has happened. So in Africa, there comes a lot new. You see Guinea, Madagascar, Ethiopia, Ghana. Let me see what it is the graphics of the last one. Yeah, there was Algeria on top, on the first top in Africa. on Algeria. Where is Algeria now? Is there? Okay, but maybe Algeria got very bad. I want to say also another one that is very interesting. There's a few countries. The European community opened the border in the European community himself because they thought the most country had managed already everything and they opened the borders. And then come Algeria. There come some countries who's allowed to come to uh, the European community. Only the visitors or the tourists, and that means not that you can live in Europe. That is normal rules that before. And what has happened? The decisions for that Algeria people can come to the European community. That is uh, a decision is a few days. And what has happened with Algeria? Algeria was on top one on Africa, and now it's on or top eight in the world, and now it's top 27. So I don't know how fast the European community can change his opinion, but better this opinion make not politics make people who are on the statistics. So that is my opinion. So there's a few new, and the Congo, the Ghana, Ethiopia, that is all new. Let me see. Nigeria is the Nigeria is also new. Ah, the Nigeria get better. What? Nigeria 14? Uh, yeah, I found some errors, so that is not really just to want to know that isn't. I made area about how many people living there, and then was a wrong number. Kenya is also that part, and so on. So that is still very good. Um, all African countries. Um, so Gabon, you know that is that's the numbers are and even what has also happened is that all these countries are in the beginning, and the other countries around is not right. Is in double in it, and that is in in getting in more speed and more speed. So, but at least I said already that the numbers, a lot of numbers was not right. We begin the race right now. So, oh, I did close the stuff. So open. So that we are. And let me. Mhm, Africa. Okay. That is all. Africa, South America, no Asia, Asia, no Asia. Okay, that's all. Okay, that was the last numbers. And Asia, you see Thailand at first, um, um, and South Korea, and I must say the numbers who was the countries who was um, called as the best one. It was South Korea, Germany, and if you see, let me see where is Germany. Germany is on place 68, and even in Europe is not on place one. So, but um, you see, every day you wait, it's a problem. But maybe now is Germany on 68, and they make a lot of things right. And the scientists who rate Germany for a good country for this for this for that case, um, they see much better in the future than I could do. This is all numbers are just until now, and the numbers are more valid on the end. So until now, it is on 68, And there's a few things that's very special and on Germany. It could make also the number worse than it is. Germany is a country um, with a lot of possibility to testing. So in the beginning, there was also the difficult to test, but they have a lot of laborers. Germany is one of the first places of the chemical industry, so they have laboratories for that. They have of laboratories if companies want to use it from time to time for so so it is possible to use laboratories everywhere. And uh, and uh, we there's also a country who have a lot of research, and even for biology they have a lot of scientists. And you see, that is the whole reason for a lot of testing and for a lot of cases on the end. And now it gets the cases will growing because one of the parts of Germany, because it's a federal, and one of these little countries of Germany, little, still big countries, um, uh, they begin to start everyone who wants, and then you get also good numbers. But uh, so it will be interested for everyone. So um, it can be go down, but on the end could be the winner on the whole stuff. So, but there's also other countries who said very good. But you must. I want to go to the average. Africa, you can see it on the rank. That is the last country who comes. And North America, even we have very hot case, is still a bit better than Europe. Um, and South America gets later, but get worse. And that is nearby normal because the most the average of the power, the economy, the power of economy of the country in South America is much lower than in Europe, and sometimes even much lower than the uh, countries in Asia, the main countries we talking about. So then Africa is the most people think that is one of the poorest continents. I think that is true, but the rate is very low. But I saw on the copy of the numbers from John Hopkins University that they are in relation of the people who living there in in every country. It is it is on the beginning, and that's why they rank very high. They're beginning in a high ranking, and then if they don't stay on that level, they will falling very fast. So so this average will change for the next time. So in one of these countries who get called they make very good, that is South Korea, China, Japan, and and so, but nobody talk about Thailand. So Thailand, as the numbers who they send it to the John Hopkins University, it looks quite very good. It's on place one. So so we see the only one or the only two you can right now see that they're doing good is South Korea and Japan. And what is very special, what was happened, in Asia was going down, and a lot of people said, "Oh, that made it very good." It is Israel. They linked his very famous secret service, the Mossad, with to prevent the contact. And on the beginning, they worked very good, but mm, on the end. the restriction, they open the restriction, and they're falling very fast, the places. So you see, that is one of the examples. We must see what what is on the end of the race, who wins the race. So then we can talk again why, what is happened, who make it better. Maybe the countries with no lockdown make it better than other. We will see. So yeah, and Japan is also falling. There came also more numbers. The only country who's still good is, from the countries that people say that is good, is South Korea. What is special on South Korea? South Korea is, and that is very interesting. These special things is always countries who are in a wake of a war. There, even Israel and South Korea, and even there's Azerbaijan. Okay, that is, looks not very good, but 33. Uh, it is good. This is for the average and everything is good. Um, they are in in um, in preparation for a war, and this that includes also chemical and biological weapon that is adaptable to an pandemic. And the best whom are on it is South Korea, and they have in the beginning stuff like an app. They tell each other, "I have that. Tell me that. Please don't please test you because I had it." Something like that. And Germany learned this app stuff from South. They said, "Okay, that's interesting for Germany." And 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago, I don't know, Germany have an app too, but in an other level. That means not better. That means just nobody can take the data for something else. So that is normally the idea from it. So South Korea had this app on something like that before, and it helps a lot. So I will tell you some very important thing what you have to know. I have there is one city in Germany called Jena. They begin that was in the beginning of the stuff. They said to the people at tomorrow uh, everyone have to have a mask, and on the end of 14 days, they have no cases. It was a small city, and a month later, or 6 weeks later, or something like that, scientists evaluated that and then make uh, an uh, an fantasy a fantasy city with the same same stuff, with the same, how big is the city, how many people come into, and something like that, like the Jena, the city of Jena, and they take a lot of cities in Germany and they mix that, and the mix is like the beginning with all the datas, like the beginning, like Jena. And the city, and then they say, yes, it is true, the mask make a difference. So what I want to say, for the whole people who don't believe on a mask, or they want his freedom or something like that, I will tell you that if you use just the mask for 14 days, then every one of you, because everyone who have a mask can help that the next don't get infected. So if the next guy is have also a mask, then he helps you to don't get infected. So if everyone get the mask on, yeah, then you don't, then you are, it is a good way to be safe. So and then you have it all really all people had to have at least 14 days, and then if it makes everyone in the world, okay, or you're only in your country, you will win the fight against COVID-19, even you are that in a worst place like the US. So if you want to have more freedom, you want the freedom like before, use a mask 14 days. Just that, only that. That is my suggestion for you. So okay, then um, go to the next rank of the economy types, and there we have a lot of uh, evaluate problems. You see, I have a communist economies. That means the majority of the majority of the companies are state owned. So, and there's just one country is still really communist, that is Cuba. So, and the socialist, and there's a lot of countries I don't can't put it because I don't know everything. And if I want to know from every country, I need at least 1 or 2 hours to googling, and maybe the number is still false, is not right. So, but I have put by my own these categories, but because it is not, you can not evaluate it on that what the company the states meaning what they are, because sometimes they say socialist or communist or people of state or something like that, and when you look at it and then you see not a country that all the companies are on the state or is state owned or something like that. That is case on China. So and that why I had to make an other rank for socialist economies, and that is not only socialist economies. So, and my definition of it is more majority of companies with state regulated economy. So the state had regulated what they it is allowed to do and what is not allowed to do, and that is happened China, like the way now how we know about China, and Saudi Arabia also, but it depends how many, and even Iran make it also. Iran make it for religious stuff. Saudi Arabia make it because of religious stuff, but also that the family, the owner family or the ruler family is still in good shape, and China make it, uh, yeah, to look like a socialist country. So, where can you see it on China? Because why China is here? China is here not because he is socialist, like they say that are socialist. China is here because they disappears a lot of very rich people. So that it is uh, very ex that is very regulated on the different companies. So that is China. So and then we have a lot of companies who are social market economies. The problem is I live in Europe, and so I have an idea which country are a social market company. For the people who live in America, South or North, that means free market with state regulated social care. So the state don't regulate the company at mass at less what they can, but they regulate um, the healthcare system. They regulate um, the unemployment insurement and so on. Yeah, and there's different uh, 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 strongness in that idea, but you can put a lot of European country into this. So I'm sure there's a lot countries around the world they could be also into. Please give me the information. Write it on the description. So there we see, yeah, um, Norway is on best place, but the average is still not that good. But for the other examples, I have not enough examples average to get a good average. So we wait. And even the liberal economies, even there's Brazil who get it worse, and USA who get it worse, Peru who get it worse, is in a good shape. So, and there I will tell you, I'm very sure that don't will be like that. Why? Because there are some countries who are beginning to get it, and they have no chance to make a lockdown. India had make a proof of lockdown, and then he found that the most of the people will die for hungry if they'll let the lockdown into. And this same problem will be have Bangladesh and Pakistan. And I will tell you about India. So let me give you the numbers of India on that what we have from the John Hopkins University. We have 600,000 confirmed cases. That means that is not that much for a country from about 1,000 million people. That's why India is on rank 24. It is 24? Okay, 22, 24, I don't know. So the thing is, the lockdown had make nothing. So you can see just a little. I opened that. Just a little bit. So, and that number is not very, that is just add one to another. But at John Hopkins University, they have a few views on the numbers, and sometimes is that number plate better to understand, and sometimes is it that one. So I know that India get a lockdown, and maybe that is this moment it was getting better, and then they saw the people crying. They said, "We must work, we must make money, we must go out. We have no health care. That is not possible." So India have no other chance to go through it. The only thing what the Indian people can do is use a mask. You know, I told you about the case in Jena, the city in Germany. So, and maybe there they're using the mask, but it's only 5 days. It could be also a wave. You know, there's all wave that is really normal. So that we can see. But when you see on that number, you see is growing every time a little bit more. So then I will tell you some numbers of some people of scientists. I found I don't want to evaluate the different numbers, but I will tell you about the possibilities, and it begins of a death rate of 0.35% to 10%. So, so and that is different scientists, different works. The most scientist workouts are not made like normally scientists do because they had no time enough. Because normally they put it on a special journal, and there come a rate from pairs, and then they will be evaluated again. And sometimes this works, um, even there's everything okay by the evaluation, even that is a uh, good work. They come another work and they make another view of everything and can say to that what they see that is not good enough. So what has happened now? What has happened now is um, it is it could be just a rate of 0.35 to that and 9% to that, or 5%. Let me see, 5, because to 9%, there is another number about to get, um, yeah, that why I must say it like that, because to that cases you must go to hospital. So, and if you have a country like India, that means if you go to hospital and everything is full, it means you don't get the help you need. So in other country like Germany, 9% is maybe okay. That is not bad, but maybe for India is a worst case. So because you have not hospital, where you have in that time no not a hospital or not the stuff to make it. So and that is just thinking about India have 1,000 million people. I don't know if their 10% go away, but just imagine what will happen with India. To the Indian people, I can only say use mask. Every one of you use please mask. Wash your hands. You must know for the other people, Indians, they know. Um, there is there is some a lot rich people who have his own toilet and everything. That is true. That is about 140, 150 million people. But there is a middle class. Okay, that is not the middle class, but they have a middle class and they're using like public toilets. And these public toilets are cleaned by the lowest uh, social group they have, the untouchables. So they called them because and there's also the poorest. And but the problem is, if you have public toilets, that's they have every day, 3 times a day or times a day, have infection risk on toilet. In other countries like Europe or USA, you have infection risk when you go to hospital, even for other reasons, or if you go to pharmacy, even for other reasons, because there's people who are ill, and some of the ill people have maybe the COVID-19. Never know. And there's sometimes happen, and a big rate of the professions who get it in high percentuation are the people who work in hospitals. Even there are medicines who work in Germany. So they have everything and they get it. So that means it is difficult. It is difficult to prevent when you get it a lot. Yeah, and that is the next question. A next question who is not resolved is how dangerous is COVID-19 when you get a high amount on the time you get infected, or in that 5 days the infection is running in your body. Um, how often you get it again? So and then there comes a big amount of virus, and they're replicated. They double they and everything. And even it could be that younger people, even you have a good hospital or everything, they can get it very fast. So I can tell you the second one to the Indian people and countries in the same stuff, use mask. And if you have some money, you or if you have some possibilities to make mask for everyone you see, and that is also a help for your future. So that is my opinion. That is a lot of fantasy. Um, and that is only for that what I see on the scientist's work, what I can see as a normal guy, what I am. And another one, there's also a scientist's work from the Cambridge University. They found out that this virus comes not alone. This virus comes in different shapes. So it means there's one type who like more your nose and the other type likes more your breathing system. So uh, this second type, what I'm talking about, that can kill you, the other just make you a flu. Yeah, and that mixed you get it. So that was found out of compared to um, two works from two different university in England or in Great Britain. So so we have one example why not all get it hard, but it means you get maybe the first time not hard, the second time could be harder. So because you get then the other a little bit more, or maybe if you have in in all more could be heavier, and even you are fit, you are young, you are the best health, you eat good, you can get it very hard, even um, uh, uh, even you are good hospital and everything, if there's too much of that virus or that types of virus. So um, that is there is some fuse you can take it right or you take it right or something like that, but think on it that why don't take it like a flu. There's a lot of question was not resolved. So that can I say? Okay, you have to work sometimes, and if you have to work to get money to get eat, use a mask, wash the hands. Uh, that is the only suggestion what I can do for you. So let's next. So yeah, oligarch states are Ukraine and Russia. That means they have big companies with a lot of power, and even that is like like in the Middle Ages, you know. That is like one king and the other king, and some king are more looking about his people, and the other are less looking about his people, and then is one have more success than the others, and then we will see then a different. But you know that is on the run. What is now good or what is now bad, we will see in future. And there's much more than one, that two uh, oligarch states. Oh, I think Turkey must go into. So, no, no, that is not true. This is not oligarch state. Okay, maybe you can give me some other states who are oligarch. I define it like that market which regulated by main companies. So there's no chance for small companies to grow on the same space like the main companies, and even other companies have difficult to start because there's not enough capital, because there is taken from the main companies. So, which is oligarchs, is just a few. So, the rank political council states. No, that is a directorial states. Saudi Arabia because it's a family who rule it, and Belarus because the guy is decades there, and the borders are closed, the people can go out, and so on. The old stuff. They call it the last dictator in Europe, and I think there's maybe more. So give me the information about council states. Okay, that is a problem uh, that I had to talk about me, because China, you know, there you see it on the case on Hong Kong. There is just one hotel we must go there, and every one of this council, 100% said, okay, we do that. So I don't know if it is a directorial side, but maybe for some other reason they talk behind the cameras differently because they work quite good in economics and maybe in other things and save the animals. They are also quite good. If they are the animals called all pandas, they make it very good. So um, and and on the rest, they don't like criticize, and that why all the people is for the leader. So, but I can only tell that and say that it's not the same like Saudi Arabia and Belarus. Maybe it is the same. So, as your decision. So, autocratic leaded democracy. That means that that's your Turkey, and that means the country, the president or something like that, changed the regulations of the state fundamentally. So Turkey, they make a presidential democracy, which the president have a lot of rights, much more than American. Hungarian always tried to make like that. There's a lot of cases, and they make an special systems which his friends get oligarchs by the money what the European community pay to them. And so it is a very special kind because they are part of the European Union, and they found a way to get autocratic leaded democracy. So Russia, you see, the last even on Corona time, the the leader have give himself 2 periods more, so he don't want to change it. So you see, they changed it like they want to. So, presidential leader democracy. That means the companies, the countries, which the president had a lot power. They is the leader of the politics, and so you have also one responsibility of the politics what is running. So, and there's India, Pakistan, Colombia, Mexico, Chile, Peru. And so always you can point of the president and what he did, my friend. Okay, in India, okay, that's the special thing I told to you. And I think in the US, the whole ideology what it is running since decades in the country is now beating the US. So, and then the democracies of purist monarchies or councils, and that is also self-made because I have to evaluate the uh, same systems together and must put together. So there are some countries you are agrees. I believe you agree with me. Thailand have a king, Morocco have a king, and then in Egypt you are not sure. Yes, so this is true. That is, you can be true. That is not a, they have no monarchy. They have a council from the military. So and that are ruling the stuff here. So I don't know if you can help me. I don't know if it is Europe, Egypt is here, right? Or maybe council state. Write me on description. So Iran is, I'm sure that is a democracy. They have a parliament. They have parties, but they have as a plurals and the mullahs. The mullahs are the people who the religious people and this um, have the right to stop everything what is not confirmed with the religion, and that is influencing in the whole society if they are out of the home. So And if you make it at home, something like alcohol drinking, yeah, you get it. So, and then Luxembourg, yeah, it is a monarchy. Spain, it is okay. That is a king only for show. You have not really something to say, and even the Spanish people um, don't even have confidence of him, of the old one. They have a new one. Maybe they change it, but the king can say something and something it changed something. There was some years ago. There was a part of an army who goes to the parliament and want to implementate the a dictatorship because they said for the reason because Spain don't runs right and everything, and then the king, the old king, talked to them. They talked on the news. They talked to them, and they said, "Stop it right now!" And they stop it. They stop this thing on doing. There was in the parliament. There was on weapon. They had they had chance to begin that stuff. So that's why even in Spain the king have some power, but only by saying so. If so, and then it is also part of it, and is also the king is paid by the state of Spain. So, and then the UK, I think I don't need to explain it very far, but the the Queen is the most powerful monarch in the world. A lot of people don't maybe don't accept this, but if you want to know what I mean, then look at the Wars and then decide by yourself. So, represent from a democracy as the most of the world are represent from it. That means they have party, they have parliament, and the people in this country, voted for the parties, and the people and the parties uh, um, make make the politics for them. Sometimes not like, or often not like what they say they want to make, but that is just they had to do everything in the interest of the people. That is the idea of, but something is goes wrong. So that is so, and from the democratic, and this represent from a democracy. Um, there's very good people countries into, but there's also countries who's not that good. So the range is very very big, and the average is um, is better than the presently leaded democracy, and and Spain and UK get it very bad, but and Luxembourg is very small when you um, but the when you see how it's growing, then these three countries will come maybe to a good place, and other countries um, will get worse, and then mid average could be looking better. But until now, the best of the more countries who's into is to represent farmer democracy. And the only one who is direct democracy is Switzerland, and this average is only counted by one. Okay, 75, but there's also good numbers. So let we see what will be on the end on it. So that was everything. Thank you for listening me. And so we see us next week.